Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So this video is actually just going to be my profile for our locals on first and second. Well, it'll be June 3rd. June 3rd of 2023. That was like the official last day of, well, not the official last day. Would have been the 4th if I would have went to a locals there. But that was like the last day of that ban list, and I know there's no point in doing like a real like in-depth deck profile, but I just sort of like want to showcase like this deck's like final form of, well, my final form of it, like it was like full power, quote unquote kashtira, the kashtira format, because I think it's interesting from how like the deck started off with text and then later on changed as the format went throughout, and of course as your locals have changed throughout the format as they've used different texts, different hand traps, different decks as well that your locals might have switched throughout the weeks. So with this profile, I did actually try to zone lock this time around instead of just going to Rise Our Pass. So I played 3 Fenrir, 1 Ogre, 2 the level 4 Rise Art, 3 Unicorn, and 1 Scarecrow Kashtira. I wanted more room to fit in hand traps though, to sort of like counter other things. So that was like the names I wanted to play. So this is sort of like the standard amount of names. But that's like the Kashtira monster lineup. I mean, you can see all the cards here, but I'm just sort of like explaining why I played them for this specific build. Obviously, this build changes throughout the ban list that you see. But for hand traps, monster wise, we played 3 Droll, 3 Gamma, obviously with the 1 of Driver, 3 Shifter. So yes, Droll and Shifter does conflict, but the thing is that the best thing about this deck is if you're playing it super heavy, you're going to see one or the other. It doesn't matter. You're going to see one or the other hand trap wise. Oh, you know what? I lied. I'm sorry. The Shifter's actually supposed to be Kirikara. I am so sorry. I am dumb. I am actually dumb. The Shifter is actually supposed to be Kirikara, but I'm not gonna worry about fixing it. I couldn't remember like what I had main deck and what I had side deck, but no, this is absolutely what I had. Kirikara was absolutely my main deck because of this format. That's my bad. That's my bad. So Kirikara is the Shifter. Shifter is actually in the side deck. Anyways, back to it. So for the spells, we got 3 Birth, 3 Theosis, 3 planets, with the 1 terraforming being like the 4th, of course. But the thing is that one, I'm just like, screw it, why not? I'm actually gonna try to do the zone lock combo. I'm gonna add the terraforming so I can at least make my hands a little bit more consistent, where I can see the 5 zone lock combo more often. So that's self-explanatory right there. 3 Prosperity for obviously consistency. A digging 6 or digging 3 is pretty good. I just prefer to dig 6 because this deck doesn't really care too much about the extra deck. I just don't banish monsters that I know might come up for the actual match itself. Besides the 2 prosperity targets I'm running, which now it's going to be 3 for next format, but later on for that. And then 3 Dark Ruler, no or more. So the reason why I just played this in the main deck instead of the side deck is because of the fact that Super Heavy was spitting out spam cancelers games 2 and 3 to play around Dark Ruler. And Dark Ruler is like an absolutely bad card and when spell cancels on the field. So I just simply played Dark Ruler in the main instead of side decking it, and I'll take it out into the side deck so I can actually play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That we all know and love. Another thing is and then it's just like it hits weird things with branded. Like if you don't want to deal with like the whole entire field, you could hit it, and then like it forces out interaction. somewhat. Um, hits Sprite still, of course. Hits kashtira relatively well, a little bit. So that's why I just sort of played the things that I did. Um, then the next thing is kashtira Big Bang. That just makes the 5 zone lock so much easier. It's possible without Big Bang, but it doesn't happen as often. So Big Bang just makes it easier. And then 3 Imperm because, well, Imperm is just a whole lot better than Valor in this deck. Because if you drop return, you can use it as a board breaker. If you have multiples of it, you could like use one in your opponent's turn, you use one in your turn, in case they can still push through the Imperm. Um, but yeah, that's that. So for the extra deck, it's 3 Arise Heart. Because, well, the mirror match was still relevant, so I didn't want I didn't want to run 2 because of Diablosis, not saying as much, well, Diablo, because of the Diablosis ban, but I just prefer 3 plus. Also, you can just banish one on Prosperity anyways if you really need to, if you're going first. Um, 2 Shanger Era, obviously, that's like the minimum to get the 5 zone lock combo. 2 Zeus, because, playing 1 just means it's going to get ripped out anyways. Diablosis, you play 1 because if you're ripping out Diablosis, you're sort of dumb. This card right here is actually funny. I actually do think it's the best time card in the deck itself. Because here's the thing, that Red Eyes Flare Metal was cute and all, but if they can like flip it face down or negate it, on the resolution of the chain, it's not gonna burn them because it's not like the Masquerade. It doesn't burn it doesn't burn you because you're paying it's like a cost to using the card essentially. It makes any sense. It does it on the resolution. Well, this card right here, unless they can impermanent negate it, unless they can impermanent negate it. If you go battle phase and it's only monster field, you can attack for half. So that's 12,000 damage on the spot. And let me tell you, it's like nothing to joke at, especially if it's like this is the first thing you're going into and you're having to go for time. But on top of that, it has an effect as well that it burns. You can inflict 500 damage for each card in their hand. So let's say your opponent just got done comboing off, and let's say they have a hand of 5. That's 1,000 to that's like 2,500 damage. And then you say that's 3,700 damage. That's 3,700 damage for time. And then you go main phase 2, make a Zeus, clear the board, boom. Or even if you even have to the dark rule of the board, it's fine because even if you dark rule of the board, never mind. I'm about to lie. This situation has never really came up yet. But as long as it inflicts battle damage to your opponent somehow, you can use this effect to burn for 500 each card, which is absolutely funny. But yeah, no, that's then the Finitrate Goliath and then the School Fossil Machine Skull Wagon. I prefer this one because this one pops spells, and this one's a little bit more prevalent because for some reason they decide to put a floodgate. If they break your board, you could just if they break the rise art, you could just simply banish the cost and then destroy it. Then the Donner Dagger for Hire. You never know if you're gonna get someone that's trying to illegally log people, or just weird plays that might come off on the fly. So that's what that's for. Big Eyes. It's just Big Eyes. It's a good rank 7. Dark Arm Dragon. Sort of the best non-kashtira Xyz in the deck. Oh, besides the Ablosis, but that's different. Then Draco Sack. You're gonna have that one guy trying to play Skill Drain or just weird floodgates in general. You're just gonna have that guy. I'm not even trying to be funny. You're gonna have that guy. Side deck, 3 Ash. I think 3 Bell was actually in this side deck. It was either 3 Bell or 3 evenly, 1 to 2. One of 2 of those was Shifter. I just was forgetting that Curry Carl's a card. Because when I was doing this, I wasn't trying to put the whole entire deck back together with my actual cards. So I was like, let me just use Neuron and just throw this back together. But anyways, so either Bell or evenly was Shifter. I mean, both cards are great. I just think evenly was better. I think better for this format. I just don't know, if I was playing evenly or Bell. I think I was playing I think I was playing shifter in the main, shifter instead of bell. I think that's what it was. And then for two cosmics, Harpy's Feather Duster. You need to respect back row, and I would play Lightning Storm, but I just prefer Cosmic a little bit better because it does out the Runic Fountain. Three Judgment and then three Evenly matches. But yeah, no, Evenly I think is just a good side deck card in general because a lot of these Yu-Gi-Oh decks they're not putting up hardcore negations unless they're playing like side deck like staples like Judgment, Strike, and all that, or if they're main decking them, I've seen some less main decking Judgments as well because they'll use like the thrust and then the talents that they get nibs draw two, and like they'll have like a bunch of soul cards in hand, and it's like, oh, cool, yeah, we're gonna stop you from playing here, but have fun. But this is my deck profile for June 3rd of 2023. One of the last terms for kashtira format. My matchups was I lost to Branded. I lost to Branded in time game 2. Because I literally told people I don't care if it's zone lock 3. I'm zone locking today. We're using Diablosis as hell. But yes, that was just quite unfortunate. Round 2 was against another Branded. But his list is he was trying to play a Synchro variant, which that's not a thing. Because all the cards that are good in Branded says you can only fusion summon. But Branded is running some Synchros, but they aren't running 4. So yeah, yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that. Then game 3 was against Pirelli. I got game 1, he got game 2. After double Zeusing me, I'm like, yeah, we ain't playing through this. And then game 3, it was against. And then game 3, I won. And then last round 4 was against Pirelli as well. Game 1, I got the 5 zone lock. They weren't going to try to play through that. Understandable. And then game 2, yeah, wasn't even close. I shifted them, then drolled them, and then drolled them again. And yeah, it wasn't a fun time for them. But yep, that's the profile.